We are taking question and answer on key elements of democratic government. How would Maya's life be different in South Africa today? South Africa was subjected to apartheid, that is the racism. In normal word we say racism. So Maya's life would be different in South Africa today in terms of equal status in society. She would get a school where children from all classes, rich or poor, high or low, black or white, they studied together. And the same hospital would treat her, which will treat all sort of people, mainly whites. So there would be no ambulances, no separate ambulances for the whites or blacks. She would get equal voting right. She would use language of her choice. That means she would lead a free life and a respected citizen of South Africa. How are the various way, or what are the various way in which people participate in the process of government? So there are certain ways in which people participate in the process of government. Generally, people think that we have to vote every 5 years and the things are done. But they need, or they must be made aware that not only voting but participation is important. So through voting and election, people elect leaders or representative of their choices. They represent them. These representatives take decision on behalf of the people. And people participate in the process of government by taking an interest in the working of the government. And if the things are not going well, they may criticize it whenever it is required. People express their views through several ways and make governments understand that action they should take. They may stage dharnas, hold rallies, strikes, signature campaigns, etc. Another ways for people to participate is by organizing themselves into social movements that seek to challenge the government and its functioning. Right? You need to keep the government on its toes. You have hired the government. Your money, your tax money is actually making the government what they are doing. That means your money has to be used for you. And there is only a give and take. Government has to be seen like that. So members of minority community can participate in this manner, or any community which is marginalized in the society should step ahead and put in front of government what they require. What do you think we need the government to find solution to many disputes or conflicts? Or why do you think? Government is a constitutional body that maintains law and order. Main thing is maintaining law and order through, of course, the use of police. So it consists of the representative of all class from all parts of the country. So problems or conflicts may arise in state, between two or more states, or sometimes between two nations. So the government represents the country and also the head of the constitution system. So it can resolve conflicts in the interest of people at large. Okay, people have to be in the center. The citizens are the only one for which the government is working. So a system without a government, it may be cases where there will be crisis, lawlessness. Therefore, the government is necessary. What action does the government take to ensure that all people are treated equally? The government ensures that the constitutional provisions are implied or employed in the country. So it makes laws and enforces them to abolish all sorts of discrimination. It makes provision to provide equal facilities to all class of people. Promotion for educating girls and also the people who are coming from the background which is economically weak, that is economically backwards. So these are some of the actions that the government takes or should take to ensure equality among people. Read the chapter and discuss some of the key ideas of democratic government. Make a list. For example, all people are equal. So this is in chapters there are so many things which are being discussed. So all people are equal, justice for all, equality and justice, opportunities for equal education to all, that is poor and especially girl child, abolition of discrimination whatsoever, equal status to all religions. Most of the fight, most of the conflict is because of the religion and the caste system. So abolition of untouchability is also, and this is not only abolition, but in practice this has to be done. In the society it has to percolate. People should know that conflict on the basis of religion or discrimination is an illegal activity. Choose the correct option to complete the statement given below. Hector and his classmates wanted to learn their own language. What was their language? Hector and his classmate, they speak Zulu. The leader of African National Congress was the great Nelson Mandela. In India, the government is elected for the period of 5 years. The two states involved in Kaveri water dispute is Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. I'm so sorry. So this is A, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And this conflict is going on for more than 30 years. And it is the government responsibility to just take action or take the responsibility to solve this issue, so that the equal opportunity or equal partition with respect to the population, the water is distributed, or distribution of water is proper. South Africa became a democratic country in the year, it's 1994. Fill in the blanks. In South Africa, there live black people, whites and Indians. Black and colored people were not considered to be equal to whites. The African National Congress led the struggle against apartheid, rang bhed, racism. Through in elections, people elect leaders to represent them. So, through voting, religious processions and celebration can sometimes lead to conflict. So, it is the duty of the government, the state government and the local police to see into the matter and try to take proactive actions, not reactive. If something happens, they do something. This is not okay. Do make the planning and arrangements so that no conflict can even start or occur. State true and false. Non-whites could vote in South Africa before 1994, and this is non-whites means we are talking about blacks. Blacks could not vote before 1994. So this is false. It was the effort of Nelson Mandela that made South Africa a democratic country. Yes, he was the key person. Conflicts and differences are resolved by the laws laid out by our constitution. In apartheid system in South Africa was abolished in the year 1990. So let us take the third one. Conflicts and differences are resolved by the laws. Yes, it is true, because the constitution is clearly demonstrating and pointing out if something happens what to do. So it's like a Bible, it's like a Quran, you can say it's like a Gita for the citizens of the country. Apartheid system in South Africa was abolished in the year 1990, and this is false, 1994. In our society, boys and girls are valued equally. Well, this is unfortunate, but it is false, because they are not treated equally, and this is very unfortunate. Boys and girls should be treated equally. Match the following. So untouchability. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he belonged to the Mahar caste and scheduled caste, and he faced the untouchability even being he was from a well-to-do family. Equality and justice, how can we achieve them, and who is responsible for this? This is the key element of a democratic government or democracy. Afrikaans, this will match with the whites. Hector Lowu, he was a black. People elect leaders to represent them. This is through voting. Name the various races that live in South Africa. So South Africa has a blend or intermixing of races. Black people who belong to South Africa, whites who came to settle there, and Indians who came as laborers and traders. What do you mean by apartheid? That is racism. Apartheid means separation on people on the basis of the race. This is known as apartheid. Name one black township. So Southwestern Township, Soweto is the one black township. Who was Hector? What did he want? Hector was a black. He was a non-white. He wanted to learn his own language, Zulu. Name the party that fought against the system of apartheid. The African National Congress, headed by the great Nelson Mandela, who is responsible for helping to resolve conflict or differences. So it is the responsibility of the government to resolve conflict and differences. What is the role of police when there is a chance of violence? The police try their best to ensure that violence does not take place. That is, they take all the proactive actions in order, if something could happen, it should not. How did Dr. Ambedkar and many others like his views equality and justice? See, they thought that justice can only be achieved when all the people, regardless of their caste, creed, religion, gender, and their wealth, are treated equally. How do our society views boys and girls? Again, very unfortunate, but in our society there is general tendency to value and care for boy children, a boy child more than girl child. Again unfortunate, the society does not keep boys and girls at the same level. And this has to be from the roots. The mother and father should teach that their kid, you can say a boy child, that he needs to respect every woman, because without women nobody can come. She can only give birth, men couldn't. So the value of a girl child should be supreme. They are the creator. Actually we say God is the creator, but in my terms, girls are the creator, because they can create the next generation. Okay, that is why we call Ma or mother as a face of God. So why to differentiate between a God and others? They should be treated best. What does government do to promote justice among girls? So the government provides special provision, or they should have some schemes like this to promote justice among the girl. They may lower the school fees of the girl. They may even zero the fees of the girl. They can give, you can say, some subsidy in their education, higher education, and various other things that the girl life is all about. Every stream, the government can do whatever it can to decrease the pressure which the mother and father feel for a girl, that is for marriage, etc. So the government should do all those things that would lower the price or the burden on the parents. That is prevailing. I'm not saying that it should be, but in our society it is like that. So what to do? What are apartheid laws? South Africa was earlier governed by apartheid laws. South African people were divided into white, black, Indian and colored races. So according to these apartheid laws, these races were not allowed. That is, these black, Indian and colored races, they were not allowed to mingle with each other. Means with the whites. To live near each other, even to use common facilities. They have all these facilities all different from the whites. What happened to Hector and his classmates? Why did it happen? So Hector and his classmates, because they were non-whites, they were blacks, living in one black township named Soweto, were being forced to learn the language of whites, which was Afrikaans. But they wanted to learn their own language, that is Zulu, and join the protest against the learning of Afrikaans language in school. The South African police, they beat up the protester ruthlessly and recklessly and shot at the crowd. They start shooting, and one of the bullet actually killed Hector. So unfortunate. Hector was the native of that country. He belonged to South Africa, and the people coming from outside, they are killing him. Write a short note on the African National Congress. So the African National Congress, or ANC, a group of people who led the struggle against the system of apartheid. Dr. Nelson Mandela was their leader. The struggle got intensified under his leadership. He fought the apartheid system for several years. Finally, the system was abolished in 1994, and South Africa became a sovereign democratic country in which people of all races were considered equal. How does the power of the government got limited? The power of the government gets limited by regular elections. Elections after 5 years in our country. So elections are usually held once in 5 years. As I said, in our country, once elected, government can stay in power only for that period. If they want to continue to be in power, then they have to be re-elected by the people. And this is the moment when people can sense their power in the democracy. When do conflicts occur? What happens afterwards? So conflicts occur when people of different cultures, religions and regions and economic background, they do not get along with each other. They don't mingle with each other. So when some among them feel that they are being discriminated against. So this is the root cause of the conflict. This leads to fear and tension among others living in this area or in their area. One of the ways of participating is to take interest in the working of the government and to criticize it when required. Explain with an example. See, criticism is your right. You have chosen the government. Now it is your right to criticize them if something they are doing wrong. They are not dictators. There is no anarchy or monarchy. This is a democratic elected government, and you are responsible, and you hold the responsibility and the idea to actually acknowledge if they are doing good work, and if they are not doing good work, then just criticize them. It is one of the most important way of participation. We can prove it through an example. In August 2005, when a particular government of a party increased the money people had to pay for electricity, people expressed their disapproval very sharply, because electricity comes under the basic amenity. They took rallies and also organized a signature campaign. The government tried to explain and defend its decision, but finally listened to the people opinion and withdrew the increment in the prices. So the government had to change its decision, because it is responsible to the people, and people, if they don't like, they doesn't like, then because they are being elected by the people only, government has the responsibility to attend to any kind of problem that the people are facing. How do rivers become a source of conflict between states? See, rivers can also become a source of conflict between states. A river, it may say, there is a one state, second state, third state, and these states we have made on the basis of their language being spoken. Now, a river is going like this. It may cross various states. So, a river may begin in one state, flow through other, and in third. So, the sharing of river water between different states that the river goes through is becoming an issue of conflict. It has been a conflict. We can cite an example of Kaveri water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The water stored in Krishna Sagar Dam in Karnataka is used for irrigation purpose, or irrigating a number of districts, and for meeting the needs of city of Bangalore. The water stored in Methur Dam in Tamil Nadu is used for crops grown in the delta region of the state. So the conflict arises because both dams are on the same river. The downstream dam in Tamil Nadu can only be filled up if the water is released from the upstream one located in the Karnataka, that is the Krishna Sagar Dam. Therefore, both states can't get as much water as they need for people in their states. So these lead to conflict. Now it is the job of the central government to step up and see that a fair distribution is worked out for these two states. Right? It's been 30 plus years that this conflict is going on, and the government is not addressing it.